When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him.
Is anyone good at making paper aeroplanes? Let's put it to the test. In a minute, I want you to pause the video and pick one person in your house. That person needs to find a piece of paper and make their best paper aeroplane. Are you ready? Ready to pause the video and decide who's going to make your aeroplane? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, pause. Brilliant. Are you back? Have you got your paper airplane? Nice. Let's have a look. Come on, nice and close so I can see. Oh yeah, looks pretty good. When you're away, I chose Aaron to make his best paper airplane. Should we get him on to show us what he's made? Let's have a look. Hi, Aaron.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
Ooh, not bad. Not bad paper airplane. Okay. Right. Here's what I want you to do next. The person who made the paper airplane needs to choose someone in the house to give the plane to. Okay, Aero, who are you going to give the plane to?
You?
That makes sense, yeah. Give it to me. Okay, right, have you done it? Have you given your plane to someone in your house? Right, here's the final step. I want the person who now has been given the plane to, are you ready? Scrunch it up, tear it to pieces, and throw it away. Cheers, Aaron. Thanks for that. Now, I'm so sorry if that caused any tensions or tears in your house. But as we jump back into our story from Luke 15, I hope it helps us understand where we left things off. Just like taking the gift of a paper airplane, but then scrunching it up, the son in our story has taken his father's good gifts, and what's he done? He spent them and wasted them until there was nothing left. And did you hear where he ended up? Lying in a pigsty, so hungry and empty that he would have gladly eaten the pig food. It's really sad, isn't it? Sad to see what has happened to this son who was given so much by his father. But then we read these words. He came to his senses. It's as though someone has thrown a bucket of freezing cold water over him. Have you ever had that feeling? He wakes up and thinks, what am I doing here? I need to go back home, back to my father. And so he sets off. But wait a minute. I wonder what the son was feeling as he heads for home. Can you put yourself in his shoes? What are people going to think of me? What will my father say to me? What will he do to me? Will I be welcome? Or will I be turned away? Maybe if I work hard and pay him back, eventually he might have something to do with me. And what about the father? Can you put yourself in his shoes? Imagine what must have been going through his head since his son left home. Where is he? How is he? Will I ever see him again? If I did see him, what would I do? After all he's done to me, the way he's treated me, would I shake his hand? Or would I shake his neck? Well, what happens next? We find the answer in verse 20. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Remember, when you hear or see the word Father, what did I want you to think? Father equals God. So as we zoom in on this verse, what does it teach us about our Heavenly Father? Well, it teaches us that God is a Father who comes to greet. You see, the Christian faith isn't about us. It's not about what we can do to try and get back in God's good books. No amount of good works or hard effort, no amount of family devotions or LCBC online services are enough to bring us back to God. The Christian faith isn't about us, but it is about God. It's about Him coming to us, Him rescuing us, Him welcoming us. God takes the initiative. He doesn't just take the first step, He takes all the steps. The way we have treated God leaves us a long way off, far away from our Father. But when we were still far away, God saw us. He loved us. He ran to us. Through His Son Jesus, dying in our place, God comes to greet us. Wow! In our zoomed in, close-up look of God, we see He is a Father who loves to give. He is a Father who comes to greet. Before we zoom out all the way, there is still one more thing for us to see. But first, we're going to sing two action songs. Jesus, Strong and Kind, and Out of the Mud. Between those songs, we're going to have a time of prayer where you can join with children of LCBC in saying prayers of thanks to our Heavenly Father.